Happy International Women's Day. Alright, so the main skill, Helper Boost Electric. The first befriended special Pokemon's nature and sub-skills. Oh, okay, research community. And I fully start freaking out. I'm like, holy shit, this is like surreal. I was in perfume heaven. So it was my first time watching a Broadway show. Hello everyone, I am back from my mini little getaway and very excited to film this video for you guys to catch up on everything that has happened the last couple days, and also to go over the Raikou news that we received yesterday as well. But first things first, it is International Women's Day, so happy International Women's Day. You know, the crazy thing is I've noticed International Women's Day hasn't really been celebrated until the last couple years, and it's a shame because in the West it is like widely, hugely celebrated. I had a old coworker who's from Moldova, and she told me that in her country, when they celebrated, it was like a huge deal. Like all the men would gift gifts to every woman that he knew in her life, like coworkers, friends, family members, and she would receive like flowers and stuff. And also in Vietnam, so I'm Vietnamese but I wasn't born there, it is also hugely celebrated. I would always see on Facebook right now at this moment, my aunts and nieces and everything would be receiving flowers from their family members, coworkers, even sons, which is pretty cute too. So, nothing I want to catch. Also, my birthday passed, and I did not get a birthday shiny, so it seems like that is just a myth and a little bit of a coincidence for some people as well, receiving it on their birthday, which is a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, Women's Day is so hugely celebrated in the West. So it's kind of, in the East, sorry. It's so hugely celebrated in the East. So it's such a shame to see that only in recent years we've seen an uptick in Women's Day celebrations in the West. And when I first started working after university, I was an office admin / HR coordinator. So as my office admin stuff, I decided to purchase some tulips to give out to every lady in the office for Women's Day. And from the looks of their expression, it was very clear to me that it was the first time they were celebrated in office for Women's Day as well. So yeah, all that to say, message your mom, your sisters, the important ladies in your life, and just wish them a happy International Women's Day. We've gone so far. Alright, so let's make some... All week I've been making the Lovely Kiss smoothie, which has been working out very well for me. Normally I like to make these steadfast ginger cookies, but I need to save my eggs, and I will need to swap out my team members like maybe today so that tomorrow I can gather corn and eggs. But that might be a slow thing to do because my corn and egg farmers are not really good at doing that. Oh, and that is perhaps my first critical of the week. So I'm at, let's see, will this bump me up to the next level? And Electric Week is next week, so that's very exciting. So we are going to have like 3 back-to-back weeks of events. So Electric Week and then Raikou Research for 2 weeks. And it's gonna be so much fun. So let's trade this in. Diamonds, excellent. I have like 1k worth of diamonds that I'm holding on to. And okay, so here it is. Let's go to this one here. New arrival, general notices. So it seems the legendary Pokemon Raikou has been spotted near Greengrass Isle. It may be possible to encounter it during sleep research soon. Also, Raikou's main skill is a new one, Helper Boost Electric. So another new main skill coming to the game after we saw that Dedenne was coming with Extra Tasty S. Okay, so we hope you're looking forward to this. And now for the Raikou details. So the event will begin on March 25. And so Raikou incense can be used starting from the date. Oh, never mind. For a moment I thought I was going to read that it was going to be able to be used before the event date. But yeah, that just makes no sense. So it is appearing at Greengrass Isle. Note, Raikou may still appear during regular sleep research even after the Raikou research ends, but extremely rarely. And to achieve that, you will need the snoozing type. I wonder how extremely rarely. Alright, so the main skill, Helper Boost Electric. Your team of helpers, including Raikou, will instantly gather a bonus amount of berries and ingredients based on the number of different species of electric type Pokemon on your team and the level of Helper Boost skill. That is pretty cool. So it seems like this is a buffing skill that we are receiving in order to further help our Pokemon gather. So I'm pretty sure it'll stack with helping bonus too. But this one is exclusive to electric type. So does that mean they are going to come out with a map dedicated to electric type Pokemon next? I wonder. And if so, I wonder if that also means that Entei and Suicune will be for fire and ice. Because Suicune would be great in the tundra. Alright, so the more different species of electric type Pokemon on your team, the greater the effect of the skill. The following are examples of different teams of Pokemon eligible for this benefit. Okay, so in example 1 we have a team of 5 different species, which is Raikou, Raichu, Dedenne, Jolteon, and Ampharos. In example 2, there's 4 different species, which is Raikou, Raichu, Raichu again, Jolteon, and Ampharos. So having the same Pokemon will not count as an extra species. So it's bolded there, the Raichu and the Raichu. And then example 3, a team with 5 different species of electric type Pokemon. So we have Raikou, Raichu, Pikachu, Jolteon, and Ampharos. That's 4. So I guess it's Raikou, Raichu, Pikachu, Jolteon, and Ampharos. So it can be from the same evolution line, but it can't be a duplicate of the same exact one, like the example above where it says Raichu and Raichu. But it can be Raichu and Pikachu. Okay, so example 3, we see Raichu and Pikachu, which are from the same evolutionary line, but they also count as their own type of species, if that makes sense. No, the wording is kind of bad. It counts for a species type. So Raikou, Raichu, Pikachu, Jolteon, and Ampharos. So I'm guessing it will be the same if we do Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu, Jolteon, Ampharos as well. And then note, Halloween Pikachu and Holiday Pikachu count separately from Pikachu also. So in that case, you can have like Halloween Pikachu, Pikachu, Holiday Pikachu, Raichu, Pichu, and that will count as 5 as well, it seems. So multiplication example, some math. If Raikou's main skill, Helper Boost Electric, is level 6, and there is a team of 5 different species of electric type Pokemon, you will instantly get 11 times the usual help from all Pokemon on your team, including Raikou. This is because main skill level 6 yields a base value of 5, plus a bonus of 6 based on the number of different species of electric type Pokemon on your team. Alright, so the special Pikachu that appears when you link your Pokemon Go Plus does not count towards this main skill. Good to know. And then special Pokemon, because Raikou is a special Pokemon, you can only have one Raikou on your team. But it is possible to befriend more than one. And then it's possible to befriend more than one special Pokemon, but you cannot have more than one special Pokemon on the same team. For all special Pokemon, the first befriended special Pokemon's nature and sub-skills are identical for all researchers. So I was wondering this last night, whether I didn't get to the bottom of this when I was reading, but I was wondering if they're going to have fixed sub-skills and natures, because previously in the handheld games, when there was events going on and they gave out legendary mythical Pokemon, usually it would be nature locked or shiny locked even. So it seems like they are following that trend for the first Pokemon that we are getting. So gonna be interesting to see what nature and sub-skill is going to be. I hope it's good. And yeah, if you don't want that, then you're going to have to hope that you're lucky and catch another one. So very interesting. Now let's read the most recent one here. Event Raikou Research. The legendary Pokemon Raikou appears. So repeated peals of thunder have been heard over a certain area of Greengrass Isle. Follow-up research in the area reveals bits of Raikou mane that Raikou left behind. So it should be purple. According to Professor Neroli, he'll be able to conduct research into Raikou's sleep habits if you collect lots of Raikou mane samples during your sleep research. You can trade these Raikou mane samples via the event exchange for new items, such as Raikou incense and Raikou biscuits, to help you see Raikou's sleep style. Interesting. So we won't be able to use a Master Ball to catch it. We will have to get Raikou biscuits, which makes me wonder, once the event is done, you have to encounter it several times in order to get the mane and then be able to exchange those for Raikou biscuits, it seems. Or are they going to change that after the event? Because otherwise, that seems like a lot of work to just get to the point where you can catch one. Alright, so the event outline, the Raikou Research event lasts from 4 a.m. We already know that. It ends on April the 8th, starts on March the 25th, and it'll be on Greengrass Isle. So make sure you go to Greengrass. Not the electric type event though. The electric type event you can go anywhere but Taupe Hollow. But for Raikou in particular, you must stay at Greengrass Isle. So the legendary Pokemon Raikou will appear during sleep research for the first time, and this 2-week event is a special opportunity to concentrate on researching it. During this event, you can collect samples of Raikou mane to exchange via the event exchange for items, such as Raikou incense and Raikou biscuits. You can use Raikou incense to research Raikou's various sleep styles. Note, even without Raikou incense, Raikou may appear during sleep research, but extremely rarely. For researchers who would like to befriend Raikou, we recommend using Raikou biscuits, which are specialized for use with Raikou only. Also, electric type helper Pokemon will be particularly helpful during this event. Note, electric type helper Pokemon include Pikachu, Raichu, Raikou, Pichu, Mareep Fluffy, Ampharos, and Dedenne. I wonder why they put Pichu there instead of not before Pikachu, but whatever. So in addition, you will be able to encounter Pokemon of different sleep types regardless of your own. Electric type Pokemon in particular will have a greater appearance rate. So during this event, you'll be able to take on 2 sets of limited time missions, Week 1 missions and Week 2 missions, to earn samples of Raikou mane as rewards. Very exciting. there's more news. So the event exchange period is from March 25th to April 11th. And this is a shop where you can exchange samples of Raikou mane for the following items. So you can get Raikou incense, biscuits, main skill seeds, thunderstones, and more. Also, a few Raikou incense and Raikou biscuits will be added at a slightly lower exchange rate in the second week of the event. Keep an eye out for these during the last stretch of the event. So are we all just going to save our mains until the last week and the first week really just focus on doing whatever? Or I don't know, we'll see. What's your guys' game plan for this? So what is Raikou incense? It's an incense adored by Raikou, and you put it on the stump labeled incense next to your tent. We already know that. So you can only have up to one in your bag's item pocket at a time. Oh. Incense that you have set still counts as being inside your bag item pocket until it's consumed during the research. Okay, so you can't plop one on the stump and then purchase another one in store. You will have to wait for the next day when that incense is used up. So very important in case you guys are like planning out how exactly you want to purchase this, because the event ends on April 11 as well. Alright, interesting. So we can only have one. So I guess week 1 I will be trying to get it. I wonder how many cookies it'll need though, but definitely week 2 I will try to nab one up. Or maybe I'll just save all my main, purchase them in week 2 when it's reduced. Early week 2 I'll try to catch it, and then late week 2 I'll try to, hopefully by then I have enough main to redeem for a second one. Okay, so the incense can also be used after the event has ended, but I'm guessing you still are only limited to one in your pocket. So what are Raikou biscuits? These can be used during sleep research within the event period and only with Raikou. Within the event period. So after the event period is done, you can use any other biscuits, like a master biscuit. One Raikou biscuit increases Raikou's friendship points by 6. And after the event exchange closes, any Raikou biscuits that you have will be automatically converted into great biscuits. Alright, so the Raikou mane. During the event, Raikou will leave behind bits of its mane, which you can collect as samples. You can check to see how many samples you have at the event exchange. The samples won't go into your bag's item pockets, which is nice. We save some space. After the event ends, you can still trade samples of Raikou mane until the event exchange closes. And once the exchange period ends, any remaining samples of Raikou mane will be lost, so don't hoard onto them. So if they're going to be lost, that means we won't be able to redeem them anymore for the incense. So does that mean this is our only opportunity to get the incense? And then otherwise, if you don't get that incense, you're going to be totally reliant on luck for Raikou to show up again. And that is like extremely rare, supposedly. So how to get samples of Raikou mane? Sleep research on Greengrass Isle. This is the main way you can get samples of Raikou mane. You can get them during one sleep research session per day. So if you take a nap, it won't count. You cannot get any during the second sleep research of the day. Yeah, like I mentioned. And the number of samples of Raikou mane you can get depends on the species of Pokémon and the sleep styles you find them in. So you can get different amounts of them too, not just one each time. Interesting. Depends on the species of Pokémon. Electric type Pokémon that you research will give you a greater number of samples of Raikou mane. So if we have Pikachu incense, that will further bump it. I don't think there's a Fluffy incense. At least I haven't seen one. Because if you have like a lot of electric type Pokemon incense, that will definitely kind of help manipulate it, right? Okay, so limited time missions. You can get samples of Raikou main by completing limited time missions. And there's also a research bundle. Oh, okay, research community. In rare cases, you can get samples of Raikou main from other researchers in your research community who are participating in the same event. The higher your closeness with the researcher, the more likely you are to receive samples of Raikou main from them through the research community. That is a great time to have a lot of friends. So if you guys are in the Discord, definitely share your friend code with each other. The following limited time special gift will be distributed only to those who cannot participate in the research community. Note, users who can access the research community screen are not eligible for this gift. Also, I guess this is people who don't have any friends at all on their list. But that is great, seeing that we do have incentive to have people on our friends list, and also given the level. Now, most of you guys, we are already level 5 closeness, which is great. So I think I will have a pretty good chance of collecting a lot of main, especially because my friends list is full. The max right now is 50. Alright, so for the limited time gift, you will receive 50 samples of Raikou main at the beginning of the first week and at the beginning of the second week. Usually if your gift isn't in the box, you just have to reset your game and then you're good. So progression in the game, we already know that. Okay, the bonuses. Each time an electric type helper Pokemon brings you ingredients, it will have 1 extra. Oh wow. And the chance of an electric type helper Pokemon main skill being triggered will be multiplied by 1.5. The Snorlax on Greengrass Isle will have Greppa berries set as one of its favorite berries. And a few Pokemon of different sleep types will appear during the sleep research regardless of the researcher's sleep type of that day. Certain Pokemon will be more likely to appear during sleep research, which are the following: Raikou, Pikachu, Raichu, Jolteon, Pichu, Mareep, Fluffy, Ampharos, and Dedenne. Now I wonder which one of you guys will be lucky enough to encounter the Raikou without the incense. So the Pokemon that I did list out above are easier to encounter during this event as well. And okay, after the event ends, Raikou may still appear during research conducted on Greengrass Isle, but it's extremely rare. Raikou incense can still be used after the event has ended. Because Raikou is a special Pokemon, you can only have 1 Raikou on your team. It is possible to befriend more than 1 special Pokemon, but you cannot have more than 1 special Pokemon on the same team. So you can't have like Raikou, Suicune, Entei. Which kind of sucks, but how sick would it be just seeing like a full team of special Pokemon wandering the campsite? And for all special Pokemon, the first befriended special Pokemon's nature and sub-skills are identical for all researchers. And yeah, that concludes all the information that we need to know for the Raikou sleep research. I'm going to have to edit a lot of that footage because I had to like reread things several times, especially because there's a lot of text and I was like stumbling on my words. But let's go through the research community and see what everyone caught, and also catch up with you guys on what has happened the last couple weeks. So as you guys know, on Monday I was out of the province of the country. So Sunday we had like a family day, right? So my boyfriend and I spent time with his family. We played Catan, we played Linky. It was so much fun. And also I was excited because Monday is my heels class. And then my boyfriend was like, wait, you can't go. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean I can't go? And he said that we won't be on time if I go to the dance class. So I'm like, okay. Is he like planning something for my birthday? And initially I thought he was booking us a nail appointment, because I told him that on Monday to Wednesday the nail place closes earlier. So I was like, did he book a nail appointment for us before my birthday? But no, it wasn't. And then like through the week prior, he kept saying things that would just throw me off the course of guessing what he was going to do for my birthday. So he really had me thinking that we were going to go to the spa and then eat at one of my favorite restaurants here. And then I was a little upset because, my friend found an Absol. I rarely ever encounter one. Anyways, a little sidetrack. And my other friend found a Sableye. I'm still looking for that one Sableye that I couldn't find. Well, I found, but it never came back. So yeah, the reason why I was upset was because I specifically told my boyfriend that I don't want to know what he's planning. I just want to be surprised. So when he kept telling me what we were doing and for my opinion on it, I was a little hurt, because I was like, that just throws away the surprise of everything. So yeah, Sunday came along, we come home, it was pretty late, almost 12 o'clock in the morning, and I take a shower. And earlier that day when we were hanging out with his family, we mentioned the conversation of escape rooms came out, and I was like, oh yeah, we should do an escape room because you still have a gift card that your sister gave you, and it's been over a year and we haven't used it yet. So we come home, I take a shower, I get, how cute is Togepi's little face, but it looks so pained. I take a shower, I come out, my boyfriend's like, I really need you to check your email. And I'm like, why? I'm still like, in the middle of trying to do my skincare routine and moisturizing my body. And I'm like, can't I do it later? Like, I'm kind of busy right now. And he's like, no, I really need you to check right now, please. And I'm like, why? What is it? Like, what is this about? And he was like, I was looking at escape rooms because earlier you mentioned that you wanted to do an escape room. So I had to pull some strings to get a last minute booking, and I need you to pick a room that you want to do. And I was like, holy shit, you booked an escape room like so last minute? So I go to my phone, I open it. I'm trying to look for the email that says like the escape room name, but I couldn't find it. But then I look at an email that says like boarding confirmation pass or something like that. And then I click on it and I was like, holy shit, these are plane tickets. And then I look at him and I'm like, we're going somewhere? And he's like, yeah, we're going to New York for your birthday. And I fully start freaking out. I'm like, holy shit, this is like surreal. I was speechless, and I was genuinely surprised because he kept throwing me curveballs the entire week, having me thinking that we were going to do this, that. And yeah, he truly did surprise me. Never would have imagined that we were going to go to New York for my birthday, but I just felt so special in that moment, because I never had anyone plan such a surprise for me like that. And, it takes a lot of thought to have to coordinate everything. And I was like, how did you even have my passport information? And he already had it prior because we've been on vacation prior together. So he already had that information. And yeah, that's how he was able to really keep it under the wraps, keep it a secret. And yeah, so I was so excited, but then at the same time, I had laundry to do. It was laundry week for me. And I'm so glad he told me a day ahead, because he told me he was thinking of either a day ahead or exactly the day of. And I was like, yeah, it's a good thing you told me a day ahead, because that gives me time to do laundry, to sort out what sort of outfits I want to wear, and also like be able to pack. So that was where we went. We went to New York. And I've been to New York several times in the past. Love it. And he's been as well, but we've never been together. And we've always talked about going to New York together. So it finally happened. And the entire night I was just like thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Like, this is the best surprise. He really outdid himself. And I was just so excited for the trip. So I had a little bit of trouble sleeping, but I was like looking at the weather, places I want to go, places I want to eat. He had like an itinerary planned out for our day, but I just wanted to make sure that the things that I super want to go to, we were able to do as well. So Monday comes, he's working, and I also film my video. I have to start packing. He did laundry as well, and then we had our flight in the evening. So evening comes along, we're so excited to go to New York. We get there and we have enough time to grab dinner. So he brought me to a Korean barbecue place. It was super delicious. Enjoyed everything that I ate there, and they cooked the meats for you too, which was really nice. And then after we went to CVS, and I was able to find snacks that I love to eat, but we just can't find them here where I live. So the lemon head candies, love those. I bought quite a bit. And then there's these chips called Captain's Bounty. So good. The white cheddar taste is like very nice. And then the puff corn chip is really nice as well. And I miss eating those, so we got a bag. We ate it in our hotel room. And when we got in our hotel room, I was like smelling it, because you know hotels always have a signature scent. So I was like, what is that smell? Because it sounds so familiar. It smells so familiar. And I was like, this smells like Diptyque. Not exactly a perfume that I own, but the DNA of this smell gives off Diptyque. So later we get to our hotel room. I noticed that the soap was Diptyque, the hand cream Diptyque, shower gel, shampoo, conditioner, also Diptyque. And I was like, I knew it. My nose knows. I definitely was able to recognize my favorite fragrance house, and I don't know, it made the experience much more special that we were in New York together for my birthday as something he planned, and the hotel just happens to have Diptyque scented things. So the fresh lotion that was in the room, love this smell. Beautiful notes of orange blossom. I would say it reminds me of if you remove the marshmallowy sweetness of Killian's Love Don't Be Shy, and you just get that like orange blossom scent. Yeah, that's what it smells like. There is a sweetness to it, but not like a marshmallow powdery sweetness. And I love this. So I'm so happy I got to bring this back. And then in the lobby, there's a display counter of Diptyque items as well. Sadly, we didn't go to a Diptyque boutique either, because we just wouldn't have space in our luggage to carry gifts home, and we also have a Diptyque counter at the department store where we live. So yeah, maybe worth visiting still, just to see what a Diptyque looks like in New York. But yeah, so the hotel was beautiful. Dinner was lovely. We went to CVS. We ended the night watching some Modern Family and other shows on the hotel TV, and then we went to sleep. And then we woke up early. We had a date, so we went to Saks Fifth Avenue because my boyfriend needed a coat, and he didn't bring one along with him because he thought New York would be warmer than we expected, but it was raining, sadly, and the rain made it that much colder, so he really needed a coat. But oddly enough, there were like no coats that he found. There was no coats of which he was looking for. Like, he wanted a really simple wool coat, and it just seemed like it was out of season. Spring is quickly approaching, and all the stuff that were on display were just like spring related items. So that kind of sucked. but we did get to look around the perfume section of Saks Fifth Avenue. And you guys, I was in perfume heaven. There were all these niche brands that I always wanted to get my nose on that we simply don't have the opportunity of doing where I am. We do have fragrance houses like Byredo, Diptyque, Jo Malone, Creed, but we don't have brands such as, and now they're escaping me, Parfum de Marly, the also Ex Nihilo, I think it's called. This one, the Valheim Perfumery. There was a counter of this and I was so excited. Firstly, the color, gorgeous. The bottle, just wait till I show you. And yeah, there were just a ton of different perfume houses that I always wanted to smell. And the one that I was very curious about, the one I was most excited to check out, were the Parfum de Marly counters and the Velheim Perfumery House. So we stopped by this one first. Shout out to Michelle. She was such a lovely person. Talking to her was so much fun. And she introduced us to some new scents. So I picked out Opus Core. I was gonna bring it to you guys as if you could smell it, but yeah, this is what the bottle looks like. And the top of the lid. Beautiful, beautiful bottle. And the lid is magnetic also. So if you're lifting it up from the lid like this, there won't be any chance of you dropping your actual perfume glass bottle, which is a nice touch, I must say, because, you know, lifting it like this is kind of easier. But lovely scent. I was torn between this and Moon Carnival. Moon Carnival is a tuberose forward scent, but when it comes to tuberose, there's already one that I really like from Diptyque called their Dosan one, so I figured I wouldn't get that. My boyfriend got Poets of Berlin. It was the first one that we smelled together, and I was like, oh, I think you'll like this one. Not only the name, but the whole vibe. So we smelled it. Delicious blueberry scent. It's like sweet, but not too sweet. A very unisex sweet scent. So he got Poets of Berlin, and now I'm a little jealous because I kind of want that one. But I know that if ever I want to use it, I could just go to his little perfume cabinet and use it. So after we smelled these ones, I wanted to smell the Parfum de Marly one. So I smelled the Delina and Oriana, the light pink bottle and the hot pink bottle. And I like the scents, but I would say they're too similar to what I currently have in my collection. So Delina smells like my Diptyque Eau Rose Eau de Parfum version, and Oriana smells like my Love Don't Be Shy, except the dry down of Oriana just smells a little too waxy and reminds me of this bubblegum pink Disney princess toothpaste I used to use in the past. So the hints of marshmallow didn't really stay around. The dry down wasn't what I expected from that, and yeah, a little let down. Loved Delina though. Beautiful lychee scent. I would say it's more lychee forward than rose compared to my Diptyque version, which is more rose forward, I feel, and then lychee. And the Delina is more effervescent, I feel, as opposed to the Diptyque one, which is a little more heavy, but in a good way. So because of that, I decided I will pick up the Opus Core. And the story behind all the different perfumes that this person makes are quite beautiful. Like Dear Polly is based off his wife, so notes of black tea. Poets of Berlin, I read, was a kind of tribute to David Bowie. Sorry. And yeah, Moon Carnival was beautiful, but I'd rather get the Diptyque Dosan one. So Opus Core smells like, the notes are acai, Sicilian lemon, raspberry, and violet. And other stuff too, like musk, I think amber. But you definitely get that tartness from the Sicilian lemon. I've never really smelt acai, so I can't even tell you if what I'm smelling is acai, but what I can definitely say is I do smell the violet a lot. I think there's another flower in this. Let me check it up real quick. Yeah, so it's, the middle notes are raspberry bloom, magnolia, and violet leaves. So raspberry, definitely smell it. And you know what? Because of the raspberry, there used to be this shampoo that my hairdresser used on me that was raspberry scented as well. And when I was reading someone's review, someone mentioned that it reminds them of the Manic Panic hair dyes or like salon shampoos. And now I wish that I never read that, because now I kind of smell it, you know? It kind of like takes away the initial smell experience that I had when I smelled it. So I'm hoping just over time I'm gonna forget and then be able to smell it like how I first smelled it and not associate it to like salon shampoos and whatever. But the violet I can smell a lot of, and I'm not sure if it's because when I do my morning skincare routine, I put sunscreen and then I put a powder right after to set my sunscreen, because I notice if I don't, my sunscreen will slide and then it gets in my eye, and that is not pleasant. So if you have that issue, powder your sunscreen. And the powder that I use is a Guerlain one. It's lasted me for a very long time, almost a year now. I'm almost running out. But Guerlain powders, if you've ever smelled them, they have a scent, a faint scent of like violet. So because of that, I'm used to smelling it. And then I really smell the violet in here. But overall, beautiful scent, especially for the spring, summer. My boyfriend's scent, Poets of Berlin, also such a beautiful scent. So yeah, overall very happy. That was what we did in the AM. We looked at perfumes and then we tried to look for his coat. And then after that, we went home, refreshed a bit. Not home, we went to our hotel, we refreshed a bit, and then we went to have dinner. So we had steak together at this place called Gallagher's, and it was very cute inside, and the tables are very like side by side, so they have to like pull the tables out, let you go into the booth and then pull it back in. But the service was lovely, the food was great, the ambiance was great, and I had a great time. And we don't usually eat steak, right? So this was like probably our first time in a very long time eating steak. And our jaws were just so sore. Like I have TMJ too, so definitely gave my jaw a workout. And then after our dinner, we went to watch Wicked. So it was my first time watching a Broadway show. And oh my god, I recommend it to everyone. It exceeded my expectations. It was so much fun to watch. And I was just in awe the entire time. I just kept like scanning the entire stage because there's just so much going on at the same time. Like even if two people are talking, the people in the back are having like side conversations quietly with each other, and like, you know, they're not just standing still and watching the two main cast members do their thing. Like there's always something going on. There's something going on in the middle stage, the front of the stage, even like in the ceilings there's something going on. So I was just like in awe. I wanted to look at everything, but I couldn't. And their voices are so beautiful. The way that Glinda projects her voice and the notes, oh my god, it gave me the chills. And the actress who played the Alphaba also did an amazing job. Honestly, really played the role of the evil witch exactly how I would imagine it, you know, like a little bit tsundere, but doesn't give a shit about what people think either. Well, she does, but like she has to give off that she doesn't, right? Like it's still gonna hurt her. And it was just such a beautiful story. I love seeing the references that lead up to the Wizard of Oz movie as well, like the shoes and certain cast members. I won't say, just in case people don't want to hear spoilers about that part, but wonderful show. I loved it so much. Supposedly, during intermission, I heard he seemed like he was like a super diehard fan. I don't say that because I don't mean that in a mean way, okay? Like he kind of self-proclaimed it too. And he was saying how it was the first show of, we're watching like the first show of them being back into it. So, of the season, I don't know how, I forgot like exactly how he said it. But that was the first show that they were opening with. And they did an amazing job. I had so much fun. And then after that, we went to Raising Cane's, I think it's called. We don't have that where I am, but I've always heard amazing things about it, especially about the sauce. So my boyfriend got some chicken strips and a burger, and we ate that back in our hotel room. And then once we got back in our hotel room, there was a chocolate cake, and my boyfriend also coordinated that with the hotel, and I thought that was so sweet. So he sang me happy birthday, we had some chicken, we had some cake, and yeah, I just couldn't have pictured it any more better than how it went, you know? And I just had so much fun. Great experience, a lot of new things as well, and I was just so happy. So I fell asleep like a baby. We fell asleep watching Jeopardy. And then the next day, we went to the MoMA Museum, which is so much fun. And I was hoping to see the Black is Black pigment from Anish Kapoor. If you guys know about the whole thing that happened in the art community with him. But yeah, I just wanted to know, like, what does the Black is Black look like? Because supposedly it just looks like you're staring into a void that you're going in. So it kind of like trips out your eyes, right? But no, there wasn't any of his works. I did see his name on the wall, which is why I thought it was going to be there, but it wasn't. There was like one installation of a Vietnamese person who does photography and kind of showing like what happened during the Vietnam War and stuff like that, you know, because America and Vietnam and everything. And then after that, we went to Milk Bar. So there were two things that I really wanted to do in New York. One was to go at Bauhaus, but my boyfriend did research, and while he was planning all this, and Bauhaus closed down a couple years ago. And I was so sad to hear that, because it was like the best pork belly bun that I've ever eaten. Like, it's just amazing. So very sad to hear that it closed, but very happy that I was able to try it before it closed as well. And then we went to Milk Bar because I had that the first several times I've been to New York, and I loved it. The crack pie, which they now named the milk pie, was one of my favorites, and the compost cookie and the cake truffles as well. But then we went there. The milk pie, still delicious. The compost cookie, what happened? What happened? I don't know if any of you watchers are from New York and have tried the compost cookies before. They had several locations around New York, but I feel like now that they have several locations, the quality is just not the same. Probably because they have to like produce it in mass, but the compost cookie I had before was just like chewier and yummier. Now it's like kind of crumbly and dry. It's just not the same. Cake truffles, pretty much the same. I would say that I don't really gravitate towards it anymore because I'm not that much of a sweet tooth now that I was back in the day, but still very great. So kind of let down about the compost cookie, but the milk pie was so good. We bought a pie to bring back home as well. So yeah, that was like pretty much our itinerary for New York. I had a blast. I can't wait to go back. Only downside was that it was raining for majority of the stay there, so that kind of sucked. But you know what? We weren't gonna let bad weather ruin our day. Also, it's not obvious, but I also got a haircut. So my front pieces here are shorter now. And she also told me that I really needed to tone my hair. She was like, oh, you really need toner. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I used to bleach my hair, but I stopped. And then she was like, no, like, you should do a toner. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, and your hair is also super dry. And I was like, you know what? I love the honesty. I knew my hair was dry, but I didn't think that dry. It was like very manageable. So she toned my hair. She asked me what color I wanted or if I just wanted a clear gloss. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it my natural hair color so that my ends finally match my top. So that's what she did. I no longer have like brown tips on the bottom, although I kind of miss it. And now I kind of wish I went for like a milky or a brunette kind of glaze instead. I'm not sure how I feel about being like all black hair, although it is my natural hair color. And then because my hair was so dry, she decided to throw in an extra treatment for me as well to bring back some moisture to my hair, which I really appreciate. So yeah, my boyfriend also got a haircut and a little perm-ish. And yeah, that was our little trip in New York. So I rambled a lot, you guys. Wow. I'm looking, let's see. This video is now 55 minutes long. So I have quite the editing to do and got some work to complete. So before I end this video, let me read to you one of my favorite quotes for Women's Day. So here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. One of my favorite quotes. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this huge ramble. Very excited about the Raikou Research information that we got as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and join us in the Discord if you would like to, so you can get more friends on your friends list as well. And yeah, happy International Women's Day. Very glad to be back, although I had so much fun in New York, and I can't wait to be back when the weather is nicer and warmer and the trees are blooming and there's flowers blooming. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining in. Take care, good luck, and have fun. Bye.